I think people know this energy and the environment is very important. We use a lot of coal, so the environment becomes very bad. In particular, in Beijing area, people can find very heavy dust, yellow sand, maybe 2 weeks ago. So people try to find new energy source. Mention to energy, we should say related to energy conversion and storage. Energy conversion like wind and also solar. You can find many solar cells in Western China. And also storage, also very important. We have a very small battery and also lithium-ion battery and something. And also battery can be used for car. So in Beijing and in other parts of China, the government promote electronic car, and that kind of car should be little bit cheap. And in Beijing city, we cannot buy a car freely. We should get a plate number. So every 2 months, we have a choice. So many people just wait the plate number. But if you want to buy an electronic car, you don't need to wait the plate number. You can buy anytime. So I think there's a new power source. So here, as you say, energy conversion usually is chemical energy, from chemical energy to electrical energy, like a fuel cell and solar cell to electrical energy, solar cell. And also energy storage now is very famous, is like lithium-ion battery, lithium-sulfur battery, and also super capacitor. People pay a lot of attention and spend a lot of time to study this. Actually, is an older electronic device, but now people call this is a new type of device for energy storage. Here is a very simple illustration about the principle of a fuel cell and the lithium-ion battery. You say, actually, it's very simple. This is a principle of fuel cell conversion. This is 2 electrodes. In electrochemistry, we always call the 2 parts as electrodes. So here is a node. Here is a cathode. Here, just some electrolyte, and also some film. Okay, some gas, in particular, like hydrogen, go here, and in this part on the electrode surface will be reduced. So the electron will go from the outer circuit, and the proton will go through the film, go to another electrode. So very simple. And here is a principle of lithium-ion battery. Also 2 electrodes, anode and cathode and electrolyte. So if you charge, the lithium ion will go from here to here. And the discharge, the lithium ion will go back to cathode electrode. But however, the efficiency and the performance of fuel cell and also lithium-ion battery is mainly depend on the electrode material and also electric solution interface. Some electrochemical reaction just take place between the interface, at the interface. For example, for fuel cell, the electrode materials, the most powerful and the most useful electrode material is platinum. You see, platinum is very expensive and also invaluable. People can use the platinum to many dedicates and some other thing. Okay, and also the cost is very high, so people try to decrease the cost and try to make new material for the electrode material application. The research activity in my group is divided these three parts. First, we use mainly electrochemical SPM technique to study the single molecule, the molecular process on the surface, and also self-assembly on the surface. Now, I think the very famous material is called two-dimensional material. Actually, I think this is a very, how to say, classic two-dimensional material on the surface. And also, we prepared a lot of nanomaterials, the materials from metallic to organic, and then try to combine this part and this part together to develop some new, we call the molecular device. First is battery, and the second is sensor. Try to put the self-assembly on the electrode surface to detect like explosive molecule, like TNT and some other danger gas. And also, we developed some new lithium-ion battery and lithium-sulfur battery. The strategy and technique we used, first try to design and prepare electrode materials with some special and desirable structure. The main technique is chemical method. As you know, there are a lot of methods to develop new materials. We use a very poor and a very simple method, chemical method. And then, by using in situ monitoring of the chemical process at the electrode and the solution interface, the main technique is SPM and other spectroscopic method. And I will give a detailed introduction about this. The first, I think, we use scanning probe microscopy. The very famous is STM, I think, is a scanning probe, scanning tunneling microscopy. The feature of this technique is we can get the atomic resolution and also in situ and real time and real space. Okay. If you put that STM equipment, just the scanning part, into electrochemical cell, we develop called electrochemical scanning tunneling microscopy, ECSTM. In this case, STM can work in solution. If you apply here, you say is an electrochemical cell. In this cell, you can find a reference electrode, working electrode, and also counter electrode. In this case, the electrochemical cell and also the working electrode was controlled by a bipotential stat. The bipotential stat means the tip in STM also is another electrode. So we can use this bipotential stat to control the working condition, both in STM and also in the electrochemical reaction. So we can image in solution to see the surface electrochemical process. Here is a real state. You say the STM, just like a small, the electrochemical STM, the potential starter and the scanner is very smaller, very simple, almost like a toy, compared with a vacuum, high vacuum SPM system, and also very cheap, let's say. But however, you can get atomic resolution STM image in solution. The same situation is in atomic force microscopy, electrochemical AFM. We put this one in a glass box, and then also put this part in electrochemical cell, and we can monitor electrochemical process in solution. Okay, In the last 10 years, we prepared a lot of electrode materials. We focus first is nano and micro structure, because this structure is very useful for electrode material application. And also, we studied nano effective to the lithium-ion battery performance, and also some mechanism. And also, we studied the surface and the interface structure, and with some nanoparticle, covered nanoparticle. And we also was invited to write several reviews. First, this published in Advanced Material. This is about some research about the lithium-ion battery and the material preparation, and also the surface study, and also lithium battery, and also lithium-sulfur battery. This is a new review paper in Untitled. So we also have some patent, and also transfer this technique to some company. We have a small company with some industry people. Every year we can produce about 300 ton electrode material for the industry.